of Kamala and her NATEX, the first thing they do is brand them a PNM. That's the first thing they do. Once you are critical, and I'm speaking about constructively critical of Kamala and her NATEX, they immediately brand you a PNM. They brand you a divider. And then they call you a Nimakaram. And of late, they're calling you a Maha Nimakaram. Ladies and gentlemen, the minute you oppose Kamala and her NATEX, which is this same star team, you know, this same star team is her NATEX. The minute you oppose them, ladies and gentlemen, they become like a raging bull. They lose all sense of reasoning and civility. And let me prove that to you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me play a clip for you tonight and prove that to you. Play this clip here for me, my friend. Play this clip for me, and I want everybody to listen to this, because I just told you. You see, whenever, yes, that one, you see, whenever Garth Christopher says something, I try to prove it, you know. I said, ladies and gentlemen, that the minute you oppose Kamala and her NATEX, they become like a raging bull. They lose all sense of reasoning and civility. Listen to this man here, who is the chairman of the United National Congress, the current chairman, and he is vying for the same position. Play the clip for me. Let the people hear the man.
And those who seek to disunite us, dismiss, disregard, and disrespect them.
You hear that?
And those who seek to disunite us, dismiss, disregard, and disrespect them.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dave Tanku. This is the chairman of our great party. You heard what he said? He said people who criticize, you see, they call, as you criticize the NATEX, they say you are seeking to disunite the party. That is what they say. As you criticize them, constructive criticism, you know, they say you are seeking to disunite the party. And hear his advice. Hear his advice. Listen to his advice to the membership. Listen to his advice again to the membership, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to his advice again. Yes.
And those who seek to disunite us, dismiss, disregard, and disrespect them.
Thank you.
And those...
You hear that? He is encouraging people, his members, you know, he's encouraging members to dismiss, disregard, and disrespect. Disrespect, you know. And let me show you what happened in a particular forum right in the UNC compound there. Right in the same place where they launched the STAR team. There was a congress, I believe, or some function, some membership function. And the thugs of the UNC took that advice from the chairman, and this is what they did to one of our own, ladies and gentlemen. Play that clip there for me.
Good day. 2010 to 2015, when all of us protesting in her, for her, worshipping her. We do love Kamala Prasad Visesa, but we do also believe that she is not going to take the party forward. Our children are suffering. We need to migrate from Trinidad and Tobago. We cannot even come out of our houses. And we need strong, ethical, young leaders to take us forward. We do not need a party that is suppressing the views that we must take. We need to be good.
Support Kamala. We know that we support Kamala. Good evening. Kamala, nobody. Nobody else. Kamala, nobody else. Kamala, nobody else. This is the big.
Why are you touching the man? Why are you pushing him? Why are you pushing him? Keep pushing.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, you see for yourself. You see for yourself. Now they talk about dividing. Father, have mercy on my great party and our current leaders. You see what they do? You heard what the chairman said. The chairman said to dismiss, disregard, and disrespect. And that is exactly what they did. And you know something, ladies and gentlemen? People called upon our political leader, Kamala Prasad Visesa, the Honorable, to condemn that action by those UNC thugs. And you know what? Up to now, ladies and gentlemen, more than a year and a half later, 18 months later, no response from Kamala, from Munilal, from Jolene John, from David Lee, from Dave Tanku, from Kadisha, from Barry, from Ratiram, from Anol Ram, from Vandana Mohit, from Shanti Budram, from nobody. Not an apology to the pundit, not an apology to the population and the membership of our party. Ladies and gentlemen, you know why? Because whenever you criticize our leadership and her NATEX, they become raging and furious and full of fire and hate for their own members. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, the Star team and their trolls are pushing a narrative about the United Patriots. They are saying the United Patriots are fighting down the party. They say they are fighting down the party and are not attending official meetings and stuff like that. You want the United Patriots to attend meetings, and that is what you have your trolls doing, your members? Huh? That is what you want? That is what you want to happen? You want Pare and Anita Haynes to come to a meeting? Huh? They want to come to, you want them to come to a meeting and do them that. That's what you want to do. You want to destroy our party. You see, I want you to know, my brothers and sisters, members of the UNC, that is one of the exact reasons why Kamala set the internal elections for 2 days. For 2 days after or before she set the internal elections for 2 days before the by-elections. You see what Kamala trolls are saying? That, oh, the United Patriots are seeking their own business, and it's like their own internal, and it's like their own internal issues is greater than the party issues, and they ain't coming to the party meetings and stuff like that. You see, that is exactly why they set Kamala and Jolene John, and they set the elections, the internal elections, for 2 days before the by-elections. They set the internals 2 days before the by-elections because they want to say exactly that. They want to say that Parry and they and the United Patriots are not attending the meetings, the local election, the by-election meetings. That is why they set it before. Because they want to tell the population, they want to lie to the UNC membership and say, watch at them. They didn't want to come. You know, they didn't come in the by-election meetings. That's what they want to do. And the other reason they set the internal elections for 2 days before the by-elections, it's because Kamala didn't want to suffer a less votes defeat before the internal elections. You know what's a less votes defeat? Let us say in the 2014 local elections, there are two by-elections. Let's say in the last local elections, in a seat, if they get 1,000 votes, let me say in this by-election now, if they get 900 or 950 or even 980 or 990, that's a less votes defeat. They didn't want the Patriots now, the United Patriots, to come and say, you see, look, I mean, even in this time, when more people are supposed to come out and vote for you, less people come out and vote for you. They don't want that. So it was a strategy. They were waiting to hear when Rowley called the elections, when Rowley set the by-elections to set the internal elections before. So that, one, they would say, Parry and they are only interested in the internal elections, and they didn't come in and supporting the candidates for the by-elections, and look at them, and they say, oh, they want to build the party, but look at them. They are about division. They are about lies. They are about hate. They are about violence. Ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you who are listening to me, yes, you, my UNC brothers and sisters, I know it's hard for you to accept what I'm saying. It's hard. I understand your position. I disagree with it, but I understand your position. You are no different from people from Mova and Laventille, you know. People who you frowned upon, people who you course on, people who you cuss, people who you say they ain't doing nothing for you and all, keep voting for them. The same people who you say that to, it's the same thing you're doing just like them. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Jolene John, Monilal said that Jolene John is responsible for communications in the UNC. He said there are 3 deputy political leaders. He said Jolene John is responsible for communication. David Lee is responsible for parliamentary stuff. and he's responsible for events and this and that and certain things like that. I didn't say it. Munilal said it. So Jerlene John is responsible for communications, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, eh? Let me tell you something about Jerlene John. And this is not a personal attack on Jerlene John at all, at all, at all, at all. By no means is it. It is by no means, ladies and gentlemen, a personal attack. Okay? This is in the line of duty, of her duty. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of our great party, listen carefully to me. I want you to know that unity for Kamala and unity for Jerlene John and for Khadija Amin and for Barry Padarat and David Lee and these people, unity for them, unity for their star team has a totally different meaning from what unity means to us. Unity to us means, bringing all our parts together, the parts of our UNC family together. That is what unity means to us. Firstly, you cannot want to unite a community and your family is disunited. Okay? So unity, to those of us who think and those of us who understand what unity really is, it's about bringing together our parts together. It's not what unity means to the politicians and to people like Kamala and her NATEX. Unity to them is about consolidating their cabal. Unity to Kamala and her NATEX is about consolidating their cabal and their financiers. That is what unity means to them, so that they all will be on the same page, the same agenda. Their unity doesn't work for us. Imagine Kamala talking about unity, unity, unity. But she has not reached out to even our own people. Take, for example, Makila Pandey. Why has Kamala not reached out to Makila Pandey? I know there are many people who somehow believe that Makila wants to be a queen, a princess, wants to be a queen and just acquire a kingdom. To be quite honest, that is a hard pill for me to swallow. It's a hard pill for me to swallow. If that is how Makila is, well then she's a spoiled brat. But I don't think so. I think that's a narrative that was sent out there. I think that's a narrative. A UNC Kamala Cabal narrative that was sent out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel that is one of Jerlene John's communication initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, that was sent out there. You see, David Lee and Jerlene John and Saddam and Anol Ram and these people, and Vandana and Amin and Barry Padarat and these people, ladies and gentlemen, they don't really mean well for our party. I'm telling you, they don't mean well for our party. If they meant well for our party, They will do better than what they are doing right now. They will not seek to divide our party. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Before they seek to unite with Khadija and with Vasant and with Larry Lala and with other members around, other members of our party, they ostracize them. They condemn them. They, as Anita's saying, you don't disunite with people and you want unity. You don't run people and fire people and run them just like that, but you're saying you want unity. Imagine Kamala rather to unite with a man like Gary, with men like Gary Griffith and Philip Alexander. Can you imagine that? Kamala Prasad Bissessa and Jerlene John Day and Barry Padarat and Munilal and David Lee, they are encouraging Kamala to unite with people like Gary Griffith and with Philip Alexander, people who openly cuss Kamala, stink, and bring down Kamala government. Those who were in the wrong table with Rowley and all of them. Even Kirk Megu, who is the PRO now, he was a member of the wrong table with all of them. Who brought down the people, the PP government. And Kamala rather unite with these people than to unite with Michaela Pandey and Vasant Bharat and Bo Tiwari and the late Fazal Karim and with Kevin the energy man, what's his name? Kelvin, all you know what I'm talking about. Ramnarain. Kelvin Ramnarain, I think his name is. Look at these kind of people out. Kelvin Ramnarain and these fellas working in Guyana, these fellas are experts in the oil and gas and petrochemical industry. They're working outside. She disuniting the party, courtesy Jerlene John. And I'll tell you something about Jerlene John now, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to ever forget what Garth Christopher is about to say to you tonight. I know plenty of you members of our party, UNC. Some of you are too gullible, eh? Some of you are too gullible and you're too fickle. Yes, you say one thing now and you are quickly and easily moved by hoodwinking and by simple narratives, simple deceptive initiatives and communications. You are easily moved instantly from left to right. You're fickle, easily convinced, too easily, my brothers and sisters of our great party. You need to become more settled and more focused. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about Jerlene John and her mission. I know many of you, I see it on Facebook, many of you believe that the next leader of the UNC could be Jerlene John. I see people throwing in Jerlene John's name in the mix of being the next leader of the UNC and all kind of rubbish. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerlene John's mission in the UNC is a PNM mission. Jerlene John, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of the United National Congress, Jerlene John is a PNM agent. Jerlene John is a PNM operative. Jerlene John's mission is to keep the PNM in power. Jolene John works for the 1%. Jolene John works for the Syrians, and we know the PNM is owned by the Syrians. The PNM political party is owned by the 1%. UNC members, understand what I'm saying. Don't you ever forget what Garth Christopher said. Listen, you could cuss me, you know. You love to cuss Garth Christopher. You go right ahead. You go right ahead and cuss Garth Christopher. Tell me it's sour grapes. And oh, I asked Kamala to buy a car for me, and she didn't buy a car for me, and it's because I turned rogue. And you go right ahead. Go right ahead. You go long, go long. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who really do not want to be in opposition for the next 5 years, please listen to what I am saying. You need to vote out Jolene John and the current NATEX of the United National Congress and replace it with a fresh new set of blood, a fresh new set of people. They are worn. They are disuniting our party. They don't mean any good. They mean no good for our party. Jolene John is an albatross around Kamala's neck and the UNC neck. Jolene John was sent there and placed there in the United National Congress to keep our party into opposition. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I am sure about that. It is easy to prove that, you know. It's easy to prove that. It's easy to prove that, ladies and gentlemen. If Jolene John, as Monilal said, is responsible for communications, she's the deputy political leader responsible for communications. And he also said, or when the mayor for Shogunas, Faik Mohammed, was introducing Jolene John, he read out her resume. And when she was speaking, she said, listen to the resume. You see the resume of us? You see the resume of these people? You see our resume? So she's banking on her resume. She's putting her resume forward. And here was Jolene John's resume, ladies and gentlemen. She was a top CEO. She's a chartered accountant. A chartered accountant. An accountant is a detailed person, you know, who goes through figures with great detail. You know. They're meticulous with their details. She's a CEO. You tell me, which CEO will have a bunch of people around them, people working for them, who running the company under and keep them? Which CEO you know that is worth their salt will have a company failing and will keep the managers? You tell me. If Jolene John went to this big university and this big school and she have a certificate in CEO-ness and CEOship from Indonesia or on these places, Indonesia or one of them places, some one of them, what's the small country again they call the small country? It's slipping me now. The small country with Lee Kuan Yew that Rodney Charles has always talked about again, it's slipping me. But she went there and she get a CEO certificate in CEOship. That's my own words. Ladies and gentlemen, so she's good. She's a CEO. She was a big CEO for the 1%, you know. You tell me which CEO will have a failing NATEX like like all of them in the UNC right now and keep them right there. You tell me which CEO go do that now? If Jolene John has a business and she have people, managers, and they fail for the past 10 years, you feel she keeping them? So why is she keeping Khadija Amin and Anol Ram and Barry and all? Why? Why? It's 2 elections we lost, 2 general elections we lost under Kamala and Jolene John. No? Jolene John is responsible for communications, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And she's so meticulous and so detailed. She's a chartered accountant. You tell me why it slipped through Jolene John's gaze and attention. Why, when we going so good in 2020 general election, tell me why blank man slipped past Jolene John's gaze and attention, and keen pair of eyes, of CEO eyes, keen pair of chartered accountant eyes. How come blank man slipped past her attention? Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, if Jolene John is responsible for communications, tell me, how come, ladies and gentlemen, the fig, the monkey with the banana slipped through or slipped past Jolene John's keen pair of chartered accountant eyes and not able to say, hey, no, let's not do that. That is bad judgment. This is not a good ad for us because we know that the PNM is going to pounce on this. And the population will not like it. Tell me why, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you. When I look at all these things, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Jolene John is an agent of the PNM. And we need to get rid of her and her NATEX. We need to get rid of Jolene John and her NATEX. She is the one who was sent. That's her assignment, is to destroy the UNC, is to keep it down. And Kamala Persad-Bissessar is her victim. She's allowing it to happen. I don't know why, but she is allowing it to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever the reason, it is not good for us. And we need to address that matter frontally. We need to address it seriously. We need to address it urgently. Therefore, on the 15th of June, we need to address that matter by removing this so-called star team, this monster team. We need to get rid of them. Not because we hate them. And ladies and gentlemen, in the local elections, Kamala say, light them up. Everybody laugh. She said it once. Light them up. Everybody laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, it sounded a little cool. It was okay. Auntie Cams, well, light them up by, we was cool with that once. But ladies and gentlemen, now remember, Jolene John is responsible for communications in the UNC. Then Jolene John tell Kamala to double down. Kamala start to talk, light them up again. And people saying, okay, Auntie Cams, that's enough. That's enough now. Okay, we got it the first time. Beautiful. Well done, Cams. The first time, Auntie Cams. But not again and again and again and again. And she went further. They ended up talking about knock it on them. Knock it on them. And people were like, knock it on them? Really, Auntie Cams? You know what you're talking about? Then she tell Auntie Cams to talk about Trinidad music. Really? Auntie? Trinidad? You refer... And on top of that, you know what they did? They printed jerseys. The whole of the UNC, the local election was light them up and knock it on them. Jolene John is responsible for communications. The deputy political leader responsible for communications, and that is what she's allowing. Knowing the state of our country, Where violence is concerned, knock it on them, light them up on it. She kept doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on these matters. Even though they are unfavorable. And people started saying, that's enough, stop it now, ladies and gentlemen. And we know that knock it on them and all that kind of stuff didn't help us. But yet, Geraldine John is responsible, the deputy political leader responsible for communications. Yes, the meticulous, well-focused, chartered accountant eyes, all of these things passed or bypassed. Do you think it was a coincidence? Do you think it was an accident? No, it was design. It was by purpose. It was by intent and intention. Because she's on a mission. Geraldine John is such a big CEO and this big winner, and she prides herself in I'm an action woman, I'm an organizer, I'm an action woman, I can get things done. And she failed in her bid for MP in 2020. She failed in the bid. And she going again. Where she failed? In a marginal seat. She's holding down a marginal seat. You know what? Okay. Okay, 1%. We in charge of one down for Rowley, one down for the PNM, one down for us, 1%. She's on a mission. She's on a mission. These are my opinion, my political opinions. I cast no aspersions on Geraldine John's personal life and personality. These are my political analyses and observation, my political opinion on Geraldine John. That is why I'm saying we need to get rid of Geraldine John. We need to get rid of her. We need to get rid of Dave Tanku. You see the violence he pushes? You see the violence he pushes? We need to get rid of Monilal and Geraldine John are best of friends. I know some people say Monilal is a man that's handle the ground whenever we in government, and we're not in government, and with these people we're not going to be in government. Ladies and gentlemen, you really feel there is a clip I want to play. Yes. No. The other one. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play this clip. And I want you to listen to this. And this is not an election season. And listen to what Rowley's saying. This is going to be a distraction. Listen to me. Some of these people in our current NATEX and who on the star team is just going to be a distraction in the elections, in our general elections. We don't want that distraction, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to how Rowley is prosecuting them. And he ain't fully started to prosecute them yet, you know. Listen to him, ladies and gentlemen.
Those of you who've been taking them seriously, let's do a little walk down memory lane. One, they find him with so much money going into his account that they ask him, how you explain that? Police investigation, I'm an only child and my mother gives me money for my birthday. That is one. The other one, Justice James Abood gave a 3-hour judgment about mishandling of public monies in a ministry. His name was called 13 times in that judgment, and he was asked to put in your defense. You have a case to answer. Another one, his colleague, a minister who lives abroad, came home to assist the police with a human trafficking matter and named his colleague as being involved and knowing about human trafficking. He got promoted from trafficker to the whole blinking market. Another one, he's on $1 million bail for facilitating the defrauding of the Treasury. And he is leader of opposition business in our House of Parliament. Another one, he was Mr. Live Sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, my UNC brothers and sisters, I know you are saying this is all allegations, and they might very well be, but they are also distractions, ladies and gentlemen. And they have not been cleared up before the courts to say, well, they are not guilty. So it's a perception out there. You do not need that distraction. We don't need that. Understand what Garth Christopher is saying tonight. I cast no aspersions. Understand me. We have a party to save. We have a party to run. We have a party to develop. We need to come together and strengthen our party. Indeed, a stronger UNC is going to provide and produce a stronger Trinidad and Tobago. It is time for our party to be strengthened. The next time I come on, I will compare. I will share with you the name of the candidates of the United Patriots. But let me close by saying this, ladies and gentlemen. We know for sure that if the star team wins, that's a big if. But we know for sure if the star team wins, they will ostracize and castigate all members of the United Patriots. We know that for sure. We don't see it already. We see how they operate. So that's a division there. We know that. And ladies and gentlemen, we also know for sure that if the United Patriots were to win, we will embrace them and want to work with everybody who is interested in working and strengthening the UNC, our great party, once they adhere to the new norms and objectives and aim and vision of the new NATEX, of our United Patriots NATEX. We are willing to embrace, but even more than that, what we are sure about is if the current NATEX remains in power, if you were to vote them back into power, you know for sure they will not unite with Michaela. They will not unite with Vassant. They will not unite with other members of the UNC, which are so critical for true unity to take place. Ladies and gentlemen, the dividing force of the UNC right now as I speak is the star team. And the uniting force of the UNC right now as I speak, ladies and gentlemen, is the United Patriots. Consider what I'm saying. You don't have to agree. I wish you would agree with me that the dividing force of the UNC is the star team. And the uniting force of the UNC is the United Patriots. Ladies and gentlemen, unity is strength. Hence our name, the United National Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, the United National Congress is the name of our party. But the current NATEX and the current leadership of the UNC, the star team, we know for sure. And listen to me, you need to stop it. Okay, member, you need to stop it about, oh, you want Michaela to come and oh, she want to be the leader of the party. That's a narrative of Jolene John and Kamala Ande. Jolene John knows very well that Michaela is a strong personality and well loved and well liked within our society by the young people and stuff like that, and she would feel threatened because Michaela is a bold. She come from a courageous stock, from the late great Basdio Pandey stock and lines. Ladies and gentlemen, so she's afraid of these kind. You see what she have around her? Khadija Amin and Vandana and them who could bow to her and stuff like that. Michaela is not gonna bow to her. And I'm not saying this because I'm pushing patriotic front. That is not what I'm doing. What I'm talking about is unity. Without unity, right now we cannot win the PNM. We have to unite. And the first place you have to unite is all of the UNC factions. Every part, every member of the UNC. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Michaela Pandey is a UNC child. She is one of us. And we have to unite with her. We need to unite with her. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody's talking about making her any leader of any party. It's uniting and consolidating the UNC family so that we can fight. And then we go out and we seek to unite with others. Not what Jolene John and Kamala and them doing and talking nonsense. You haven't. Garth Griffith has nothing. He bring down the partnership. He cussed Kamala. I've been warning them. He cussed Kamala black as white. Ask Kamala and say, look, all is supposed to bring something to the table. He come out and started to cuss Kamala. And right now he's trying to bully. He's trying to bully the UNC. He could bully Kamala. He can't bully anybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, again, and I leave you with this. The star team, the current NATEX, is here to keep the UNC divided. The United Patriots is here to unite our party. Members, brothers and sisters of the UNC, do not forget what I said about Jolene John. Jolene John was sent by the PNM's financiers, the 1% who she works for. She's beholden to them. I mean, I need not tell you more. Jolene John is a PNM. She worked for Manning. Not only worked for Manning, Jolene John told me personally, when Manning died, Hazel Manning, Mrs. Manning, and Brian Manning, and they asked Jolene John to say something about Manning in his funeral or somewhere. Yes, Jolene John told me that. She's very, very close to them, you know. She's very close to them. And in addition to that, look at the people who Jolene John brings to speak on a UNC platform. Let me see if you're thinking. Let me see if you remember. Selwyn Kojo is a PNM. And Jolene John brings Selwyn Kojo on a UNC platform to speak. I can tell you much more, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you much more. I am not here to divide our party. The current star team has already divided our party. Their mission is to divide, because Jolene John's mission is to keep us down, to keep us in opposition. Okay? So I want to thank you very much for, I know it was a heavy, kind of uncomfortable for some of you live tonight. I know it's kind of painful for some of you members, my brothers and sisters. The truth hurts, but you know what? It sets us free. And right now we need to be freed from some of these albatrosses around our necks. We need to be freed from people like Jolene John and this current NATEX. We need to breathe a fresh air, breath of fresh air. We need newness. We need new blood. We need to consolidate our party, unite our party, bring it together, strengthen our party for the battle ahead. Why? Because we cannot afford to spend another 5 years in opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what that will spell? That will spell destruction of our party. I will not be surprised if we were to lose the 2025 general election. The UNC is no more. I will not be surprised. We cannot and must not allow that to happen. And the best chance of ensuring that that does not happen, ladies and gentlemen, is to install. Kamala will be still there, you know. Kamala will still be there. Excuse me. Kamala will still be there. But we need to install a new NATEX. We need to purge the NATEX. Okay? Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Okay? Maybe tomorrow, please God. Maybe tomorrow, please God, I would have a next live, because, you know, Tuesday, please God, is I think the star, the United Patriots has meetings and things for the rest of the week. So I'll see if I can squeeze in the next one. Okay? Tomorrow, please God. All right? So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Borders with Garth Christopher. Tune in as he pushes the envelope in talk radio. Listen to him extend the current limits of performance and take you beyond the commonly accepted boundaries, testing those limits and taking you as far as it's safe to go. No borders exceed the existing limits.